Hello all, Pooja here. So today we're gonna discuss about UGC Net Paper 2 syllabus for economics subject here. So basically the paper 2 consists of 100 MCQ questions. So each question carries 2 marks. So the total number of marks will be 200 marks. Okay, so which will be based entirely on the economic syllabus which is prescribed by the UGC itself. Now we will see what all this includes. So in the unit 1, you have the microeconomics where you're gonna study about the theory of consumer behavior, theory of production and cost, decision making under uncertainty, attitude towards the risk, and you're gonna learn about game theory related to market structures, competitive and non-competitive equilibrium, and the related to factor pricing, related to general equilibrium analysis, and basically the efficiency criteria. You might have learned about these like wealth maximization, Kaldor and Hicks, Pareto optimality related stuff. You might have learned in your UG or PG courses, and related to the welfare economics, some theorems, some social welfare functions, and also you're gonna learn about asymmetric information, the adverse selection, and the moral hazard. This is a unit 1. And in unit 2, you have a macroeconomics where you learn about national income and determination of output and employment. Basically, you're gonna learn about classical as well as Keynesian approach. Next one is consumption function related, investment function, money multiplier here. So related to accelerator, what is demand for money, what is supply for money, and the most important ISLM model approach. Next one is related to inflation, the Phillips curve, business cycle, monetary and fiscal policy. Okay, some rational expectation hypothesis you're gonna learn. This is all related to the macroeconomics unit 2. And in the third unit, you have a statistics and econometrics where you're gonna learn about probability theory. You're gonna learn about the descriptive statistics, some sample methods and sample distributions. Okay, the statistical inference and hypothesis testing, and some linear regression models, and the equation models, time series analysis, discrete choice models. You're gonna learn in detail in this unit 3. And next comes the mathematical economics where you're gonna learn about sets, what are the functions of that, what is the sequence, series, related to differential calculus, related to algebra, and also the optimization problems, input output model, linear programming. If you are good at difference and differential equation with application, that would be much more better here. And in the fifth unit, this is the most interesting part, that is international economics. And you're gonna learn about the basic concept of international economics, some basic key terminology, and the theories related to international trade, and how there was an international trade under imperfect competition, and the balance of payment BOP, related to exchange rate, foreign exchange market, that is a forex market, and this gains from trade, terms of trade, trade multiplier. These are like important key terminologies you're gonna learn in detail in the unit 5. And related to like tariff, like a taxes on the imports, and non-tariff barriers to trade, dumping, what is anti-dumping, related to the international institutions you're gonna learn here. And in a unit 6, you're gonna learn about the public economics related to market failure. If market failure happens, what are the remedial measures are there, and how you are regulating the market, the public revenue, what are tax and non-tax revenue, what are direct and indirect tax, what is a progressive and regressive taxes, what is the incidence on taxes here, what is the effect of a taxes, related to public expenditure, public debt, how we gonna manage those public debt, and what is this public budget, and how the budget gets multiplied, and what are fiscal policy, what are the implications of fiscal policy. These you're gonna learn in unit number 6. And in unit 7, it's a very like a most curious topic, and like a most important one also, where like most of the students love this unit, that is a money and banking chapter. And you people have learned these components of money supply even in the grade 11th itself, right? So the components of money supply, the central bank, commercial banking, and instrument and working of monetary policy, and related to non-banking financial institution, what is capital market, how it can be regulated. This will be in the unit 7. And in unit 8 you have a growth and development economics. So you're gonna learn what's the difference between economic growth and economic development, and some theories related to economic development which given by the different economists. And you're gonna learn few models of economic growth, and you're gonna learn about the technical progress, and what are the indicators of economic development, that is PQLI, Human Development Index, Sustainable Developmental Goals, related to poverty is inequality, how we gonna measure poverty, how we gonna measure the inequalities, and what are the social sector development related to health, education, gender, these stuff. And in unit 9, this is all related to the environment economics as well as demography, where you're gonna learn about the environment as a public good, how the market failure happened, some theorem, some cost benefit analysis, how we gonna evaluate these environment goals, and some theories related to population, and how we gonna measure fertility, morbidity, and mortality, and what are the difference between these. And next is related to age structure, demographic dividend, and life table related to migration. These are all the economist concept itself. You're gonna learn economics in a broader manner here. Okay, and the last unit, the total there will be a 10 units in the paper 2. Okay, so in the 10th unit you're gonna learn about the Indian economy, where you're gonna learn about economic growth in India, what is a pattern of economic growth in India, what is a structure of economic growth in India. And you're taking agriculture, same like what is a pattern of agriculture, structure of growth in agriculture sector, what are the major challenges in agriculture, how the government made the policies to overcome that. The same thing applies to industries and services, and even it applies the same for rural as well as urban development. And similarly in the foreign trade and related to BOP, just connecting Indian economy with the international economy. And related to infrastructure development, it might be the PPP, that is public private partnerships, or what are the reforms happened in the land, labor, and capital markets. Okay, and related to Finance Commission of India, you're gonna study about the FRBM. There is a FRBM Act also, and you're gonna study about center state financial relations. Okay, and you're gonna connect the poverty, inequality, unemployment in a Indian economy. So this is like just a syllabus for paper 2. In the coming classes we will go through like unit by unit, like what are the important questions, and how to read like each unit, and like how to solve the PYQs, and what all to read, what not to read, how deeply we have to read the concept. These all we will discuss in the coming videos. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.